All right. So, welcome to the team call tonight. It is August 17th. So, basically, I just want to run down a few things before we get going. I guess we're, past the summit surge. Now we should be implementing a lot of the stuff that we did here down there. And I don't know, have they put all the video recordings up yet? Because I haven't seen those yet. I know I've seen a couple of flashes of certain things, but I haven't seen all the full recordings yet. So hopefully those will be ready for us real soon. We have the launch of the Fixate coming in 2 days, the Fixate show. So 2 more days for us to kind of check that out. And that, that Beachbody's 20s is already, I guess, 2 episodes in. I haven't watched it yet. I'm being a poor leader that way. I don't know.
Listen, I think we need to focus on personal development, not on live TV. I'm sorry. This one, I'm not.
I know it's tough.
I'm not even getting into it.
But I guess we got to know who these people are so we can focus on it. I don't know. And it's tough because I don't watch much TV. I don't even think I've watched one Olympic sport yet. So, to sit down and watch something, it's tough for me. I might do it, once a week with one show and that's it. So, maybe I'll have to see if that's my show for the next month or so, but I still haven't got onto it yet. Maybe I will. And then do we have anything else coming up right now? We just got Beachbody Cup going on. Over 2 weeks in on there. Hopefully you're, striving for some good Success Club points and reaching out to a lot of people, because that's what it's all about. It's just getting outside of your comfort zone, reaching out to more people, and just telling them, letting them be more aware of what Beachbody is all about, how it's helped you, and just sharing. So, hopefully you're doing that this month. And I just got my email for the canister for last month, so that'll be coming. Free swag, free stuff. I love free stuff. But yeah, so basically, I guess me and Johanna were talking, and we're kind of wanted to come up with a couple of different topics to talk about. Sorry, I'm spitting on my words here. And one thing I wanted to say was, it kind of comes to my mind all the time, and it's just leading by example. When you first start out in Beachbody, we're just little coaches, we're just trying to find our way. We don't know all kinds of the material out there and the tools, and, it can be overwhelming. And we're starting off, sometimes with our fitness journey, with learning how to, eat properly, fitting it into our daily lives. And it can be overwhelming. So, leading by example, it can be tough to kind of grasp that because we don't see ourselves as leaders yet. But one thing is when you're doing these things and when you're learning them, and as you're learning them, you can teach other people exactly the way you're learning it. So you can teach people at the same time as you're learning, right? So, by leading by example, we're doing our workouts, we're creating these habits, and just leading people that way. It doesn't have to be, mentoring in high-level places. It could be just leading a daily workout routine, or leading them in, learning how to meal prep, leading them in different ways. So there's different meanings to being that, leading by example. One thing that really started with me was, just getting into the daily activities, working out. I was, I'm a trucker, so I wasn't doing any working out. I was playing hockey once a week, maybe twice a week, and that was my activity. That was it. And then working into a routine of bringing in exercise every day. That was my way of leading people. I still think that's my way of leading people, because I feel I have a way of motivating people in a way, and I do that through my workouts, being that example. I kind of lack in some of the other areas, but that's my strong point, and I find that's something that I can focus on. Is when I'm working out, I find that's the best way I can motivate people and be a leader. and show them that anybody can do it. Because at one point I was out of shape. I wasn't the fittest guy, and now people look at me and say I could never do that. I'm like, neither could I one time. So like I can put myself in their shoes, because I remember exactly saying I can't do that. And that's why, like, when I saw Insanity, I was like, this is a BS program. And that's my thing. I called BS on the program and the before and afters, and that's how it started. Um, I was like, there's no way this jumping is going to do anything for me. It was it just didn't seem right. And, it called it the other way on me. It showed me exactly what that program was. I knew it was going to be intense. I didn't know how intense. But, as I learned about the program and as I was going through it, I learned exactly that I ate my words on it. And if anybody's tried Insanity, it is one of those programs. So, leading by example is just by, doing those workouts, learning as you go with the nutrition. My diet has changed a lot since I first started. It first started from eating a lot of fast food, processed foods, all different kinds of, unhealthy meals is what I was doing at first. And then it kind of went from there, where I was cleaning up my diet. I was, learning about what proper nutrition was. Back then I was eating, chicken and fish and, putting in those, complex carbs and eating more veggies, because I wasn't a big veggie eater. And it's kind of funny now, that's basically all I eat now. So, you kind of transition. So as I was learning, I'm starting to, throw the nutrition aspect into, to help people, because that's what intrigues me. And that's where I find my leadership can be, is because that's all I'm putting my personal development in, is nutrition and, being a leader that way. And I find that's more helpful to people. So leading people where you're good at or where you're passionate about, and just portraying it onto other people. So, I don't know if anybody has anything to add to, just finding the leadership that they have found themselves in, because at different points of this journey, we're going to be leading in different ways. You got to find, those coaches to lead a team. You want to have, your own culture on your team, leading in, recognition for your team, leading in, finding ways to be creative to help your team, find their edge and find their niche. So, leading in that way, it's just, you got to find it yourself as well, right? So as you're, going through the trenches and finding, I went in YouTube, I was in the back office, I was doing all the research myself, because I didn't want to just leave it on somebody else to teach me. I went out and did the research myself, and started following a lot of coaches and asking questions. And the back office back then wasn't set up the way it was. It's a lot easier to go through everything now. All the links are directly there, where you can just go in there, find it out, and then when you find something that's going to help your team, share it with them team, go over it with your team. If it's only one person, that's great. If it's more than one person, set up a team call, set up, individual calls, do what you have to do. But, being a leader is just, sharing the stuff that you find helpful, that is, helpful to you, that can help them. Right. So, what else can I say about leading? It can be tough at times, you don't know how to, interact with every coach, because every coach can be different. So you got to find, different ways to teach them, the same stuff. People react differently. You got to know how they know, or there's different ways of learning, right? So you got to know each coach and how their way of leading is. One book that I haven't even got into yet, that I'm going to this month, is Simon Sinek's Leaders Eat Last. And I think it all kind of came from the whole mentality of the mess hall aspect.
Derek, I'm sorry. Can you put up that book again? That way I can.
Leaders Eat Last by Simon.
Thank you.
He was one of our keynote speakers last year. Yeah, last year at Summit, and he's got Start with Why. It was one of his other books. He's actually got a new book coming out, which is coming out in September. Forget the name of it. I just listened to a podcast the other day with it, and I will get it to you as soon as I go back to the podcast, and I'll put it somewhere and get everybody to hear it. But yeah, he's got the whole mentality of this is, officers in a mess hall, they'll allow all the minor recruits to eat first before like the top ranking officers will eat. And that's just leaders, you want everybody before you or under you to, be well fed or whatever before yourself. It's always the mentality of the captain kind of goes down with the ship kind of idea. And I really want to jump into this one and find out more about that. And, I think everybody should probably read this book just because, it gives that purpose of, serving others before yourself. So, grab that book and tell me what you think of it, because that's one book that I bought a little while ago, and it's been sitting there on my desk ready to go, and I think I really am ready to jump into that one. So what do you struggle with when you're trying to lead your team? I'm going to put that out to you guys now, and then see where we can go with this. Because, I know sometimes it's just the interactions that I find is the toughest part. We try to build a team that's alike ourselves, but sometimes, we get people from all over the place joining our teams, and sometimes that interaction can be kind of tricky, figuring them out and what they need. And, sometimes we don't always communicate the best ways of what we need. And I think the best way is just being honest and being true to what you think you want, or what you think right? So, does anybody have any issues there? I'll unmute you guys, or
Yeah, I can.
Okay.
I can speak for it. For me, when I first started Beachbody, it took me a really long time to understand that the business, it's not something that I could build by myself. And initially, I didn't really want to deal with a team because I'm so used to being independent, and I just do it. I just want to do it. I don't want to have to, run things by 50,000 people. So it took me really until the beginning of this year to really, and my business was the same, to understand that I really needed to build a team and understand that not everybody's like me. That people need, some people need more hand-holding than other people. So what I do now is when I sign up any coach, I send them the color code test. I don't know if you guys seen it. It's actually in the back office. And they take a color code test that tells me about their personality, their strengths, and the weakness. It's the same thing as the Charlene Johnson, the GEM. The gem, like whether you were Ruby or you were Pearl, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to invest in that actually, so that I can really learn more about it, so that I can really be able to, address each coach based on what their needs are and how they learn. Because some coaches want to make things fun, right? They strive when we have a challenge group and we make it fun. Whereas, I can't throw at every coach like spreadsheets, because not everybody likes spreadsheets. Not everybody likes structure. Not everybody likes organization. So really understanding how your coach functions to better help them run the business and make it fun for them.
Exactly.
Right. So I am very motivated by recognition. Some people are not. Some people find that shy. They think it's embarrassing. And, so really understanding your coach. So I do recommend that whenever you sign up a coach, even if it's a discount coach, because I'm a believer that people don't people are not interested in the business until they understand how much potential there is and how much money you can make, and then they become interested. So send them that email. It's the welcome email. It's in the back office. That's the same email that I use. And the color code is there, and it's going to help you kind of understanding your coach and their personality.
Definitely. And one thing is, I don't think I've ever taken one of those personality tests. Everybody talks about the emerald, the ruby,
ruby.
whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
I had no idea, but that's maybe it's a guy's thing. I just.
No, you really should, because you know what? Since I started paying attention and I make my coaches take it, now I don't make it a mandatory. If people fill it out, they fill it out. If they don't, okay. But the ones that have, I'm really able to kind of understand how they, what drives them and what makes things fun for them. And I try to use that to help them, kind of be successful. So if I have a Ruby coach, if I have a coach that's a Ruby, I know that person likes recognition. I'm going to recognize them. If I have a coach that it's a yellow, that's their color, and they like to make things fun, then I try to involve them on the fun things. Like, okay, let's create a page and let's create a group, and, and I'll do the meal plans, because that's the hard work, right? So I'm trying to make it fun for them. But in terms of leading by example, I also had a couple of other points. I think that leading by example, Derek talked about the fitness and the nutrition aspect of it, and basically like being a product that the product works, right? You can't really sign up people into the business and give them meal plans and programs that you've never done or you're not doing. I don't want to say that you've never done, because I run groups of programs that I've never done, but I'm doing Beachbody programs, right? We're not going to do everything. But besides the fitness and the nutrition, comes the attracting. We all know that this business, we make it successful by creating a team and building a team. And you want to have people that are like you, right? You're going to attract who you are as a coach. If you are an inconsistent coach that's in and out of your business every other month, that's the kind of people you're going to attract. And that's the message that you're going to be sending your coaches. So if you want to, like when I first started as a coach, I've always been consistent, but in a sense, I was just waiting to sign up that rock star person that was going to just take off and go, right? But it wasn't until I became that person that I'm now attracting people like me. So you are going to attract in your business who you are. If you want to have that top 10 elite coach, you need to become that top 10 elite coach. You need to set the pace in your business. So leading by example, not just from the fitness and the nutrition aspect, but from the business aspect. Right?
For sure. And I have to 100% agree with that. And Simon Sinek, I think, had another thing is, leaders are at the front of the charge, right? And it's kind of hard to kind of push that string forward. It'll just bend, right? You got to be at the front and pulling it or whatever. So you have to be at the front, leading the charge into where you want to be and how you want your team to be, right? You can't just, be there and, kind of push them forward, because they're not going to do exactly what you want, right? So
yeah, and it's never about look, it's my team's fault that I'm not moving forward. It's not my team's fault that I'm not advancing in rank. Guess what? You're 100% responsible for your business. Not me, not my upline. You are 100% responsible for your business. You choose whether you want to show up or not. You choose whether you want to do personal development or not. You choose whether you want to share or not, and that depends on you, okay? So, use any power that you have that's working for you. If you're getting results, share it. You know how many people out there would love to lose 20, 30 pounds in a matter of 3 months? Like 4 years ago, you would have told me that I could lose 20 pounds in 3 months. I would have been like, how much? $1,000? Here it is. because that's how much I used to spend in personal trainer. I mean, your sports club, seriously. And I wasn't getting not even a quarter of the results. So why wouldn't you want to like share that and give people that opportunity as well? Like when I first started this business, I started with P90X and I completely transformed myself. And in my brain, I couldn't comprehend how come America wasn't doing this. I'm like, where is everyone else? Like, why isn't everyone, like every gym should be shut down, seriously. Or we should be doing P90X at the gyms. Because it was like, you tell me that if I show up 45 minutes a day to an hour, like I really went from a size 12 to a size 4 in a matter of 3 months. So I started sharing that because I just, like I felt so good about my results after spending so much money at the gym, spending so much money with personal training, spending so much time. Going to the gym took me 2 hours. Now, I don't want to, it's not about like, I guess, down talking people who go to the gym, because sometimes you do need an outlet from working out at home, especially if you have little kids. You do sometimes want to get out of the house and work out. But just don't be afraid of sharing, because if you're not sharing, then you're going to sign up people who are not going to share. Remember, you attract who you are. So if you're signing up coaches and that's how you're going to grow the business, you're going to make money on commission here and there, but the big growth comes in growing a team. And your team is going to mimic what you do, right? They're going to mimic what you do. So if you're not posting, if you're not sharing, if they see that you are completely apprehensive about sharing results, that's how they're going to be. I think that's all I had.
So another thing is, when we are sharing, how do we share, right? And some people get a little scared, sometimes knowing exactly what to say. And that's the tricky part. It's all from within what you're doing. It comes exactly like there's no right or wrong way.
Right.
You are going through this journey. How you feel about what you're doing and how you're changing is exactly what you share.
Mm-hmm. So don't worry so much about the scripts.
No.
Don't worry about some of the scripts. Just if you're feeling and this is what you want to say, just say it.
And the scripts, can kind of help you kind of get an idea of how to walk through certain things. But the whole idea is sharing you and your journey. So I don't use those scripts often, and it's just because it's just not me. I tend to fly off the hook, talk exactly how I'm feeling, and what I'm struggling with, and how I made a solution for it. And that's generally what you are doing. I struggled with this, I added this, and I'm now here. Plain and simple. So I struggled with my eating. I got these funny little small containers, and now this is my meal. That's it. And to share that, people will be loving it. They'll be like, well, how do you do it? Like where do you find these recipes? I'm like, I got an awesome website that gives me all these recipes. They're broken down to breakfast, lunch, dinner, sides, desserts. Vegan, vegetarian, everything's there. If you haven't gone back there to get all these recipes, I put it on my like page all the time. They are amazing recipes. I've tried a ton of them, and I make them all the time. Like I recycle them, I use them, I tweak them a bit. They're great. So if you're not getting people, getting familiar with that, please get familiar with all the stuff that's in the back office with the recipes and the Beachbody blog. And, they even have nutritional tips, workout tips, all kinds of other tips. And I just put them into, my life. Because, these people come up with great topics, and, it's great stuff to filter through, and then add in how you're feeling that day, your daily workout, your meals. Plain and simple. How you're feeling, how you're doing.
Yeah.
Nothing more than that.
Yeah, I mean, I am a little different than Derek. I do stick to my scripts all the time, because I find they work and I'm able to close a lot of my deals with my scripts. When I'm on the phone, when I'm on texting someone, especially, I'm big, most of my clients come from Facebook. But if I'm talking to someone face to face, I just go with, with how I feel and the mood and the conversation. But today I learned a really good strategy listening to this new podcast that I started listening, MLM Nation. I don't know if any of you have heard of it, but it's amazing. They're the top MLM distributors, all different kinds of companies. They don't let you, if they have a speaker, you don't know which company they belong to. It's not allowed. You're not there to promote that company. You're there to promote the tips that have, make them successful. And one of the things one guy says, he uses this strategy: feel, felt, and found. 3 F's: feel, felt, and found. If someone gives you objections, like, well, I don't have time for that, I'm not interested in your opportunities because I don't have the money, or I don't have time for coaching, you say to them, I understand how you feel. I felt the same way you did, but I found that this opportunity has, and then what has Beachbody done for you? You talk about it. I found that I feel more energetic when I drink Shakeology. I found that I'm able to keep my weight loss. I found that I'm able to lose weight when I stick to this meal plan that's been designed. All I have to do is follow it. I found that I'm able to pay bills with my new income. I found that this opportunity, it's allowing me to do X, Y, and Z. And I know a lot of the coaches feel apprehensive because they haven't had that success. And I think none of us here have had significant major amount of success, right? But we talk about the little bit of success because that little bit of success could be significant for some person. Like we had Audrey Robles last week here, and she talked about she didn't even have money to buy groceries. She didn't even have money to pay for groceries for her kids. So if I was inviting her to my opportunity and I said to her, I found that this opportunity is giving me $2,000 a month, guess what? That might not be life-changing for me, but for her, it was life-changing. Right?
And it doesn't even have to be $2,000 a month.
Exactly.
It could be $500.
$500 a month. Yeah, right? Exactly.
Help people, right?
Yeah, $500 pays for 2 Shakeologies that you don't have to pay out of pocket, and you still have $300 left. So,
right?
Yeah, just I know that a lot of us are, we're not making 6 figures with Beachbody yet, but talk about what has it done for you. Talk about for, physically, and share everything. If you lost an inch, put it out there, because not everybody is losing inches going to the gym or doing Weight Watchers. I'm telling you, they're not. Yeah. So don't be afraid to share, because that's how you're, sharing is caring. And also people also tell me I'm afraid of being a salesperson. I don't want to sell. Guess what, guys? We sell every single day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. When you try to pursue your kid to eat that broccoli and they do, you just close the deal. You sold them on that broccoli, right? When you want to tell your husband, I just, don't bother me, I have a headache. You convinced him, you close that deal. You're selling 24/7.
Headaches, damn headaches. Drink more water.
Yeah.
But yeah, and that's the thing. You don't want to be salesy at all. We have tools, and that's what I talked about on my live broadcast earlier. We have tools. If you want tools to get you from here to here, try these tools. I'm going to help you using those tools to help you. And that's basically what it is. You've gotten these tools, you've worked with these tools, and you've done so much with these tools. What did you do? In some way, did you feel better? Did you get into those nice little booty shorts or whatever it is? Just share that with people, and people will come to the same feeling or want that same feeling, right? So we only got 4 minutes left. Does anybody have any questions before we end the call?
Any questions? It doesn't have to be related to our topic, but anything that you're struggling, questions, anything.
And I'll unmute y'all. No, nothing.
I have a question. I'm thinking about signing up my daughter.
Okay.
But I really can't afford the $200 a month. Is there anything you guys can tell me, like,
How old is she?
can help me?
How old is she?
17. She's gonna be 18.
Do you have to
17.
be you have to be 18, no?
You have to be 18, yeah.
Yeah, you have to be 18 to sign up as a coach.
Okay, so in December she'll be 18.
Yeah.
So as soon as she turns 18, as soon as my kids turn 18, I'm going to be running their account, putting customers under them, and hopefully building that account for later on. And it's not going to be $200 a month. It's going to be your coaching fees per month, and that's it. Because you don't have to get the Shakeology or anything else. You can just have them in there and have a sitting in your downline, right? So whenever you want, you can activate them at any time, as long as they're paying that $20.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
I thought
you
they
can
had to be on HD and then.
No, you can be a coach, and they can become inactive. They can be inactive as long as you're paying the $15 a month. You're good to go. And if you put one sale under them, they become active. You understand? If you put a challenge
That's good to know.
A challenge back under them. So definitely sign them up as soon as they turn 18 so you can secure their placement in your organization.
Because
and I could do that with my husband too, right? Like if you don't want
like your husband should have been signed up a long time ago. Yeah. Like you need to do it like
I know.
And it's $39.99. You don't have to buy a challenge.
Well, now that I know, it's just right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So like we did that for Danielle, like her husband, she secured her husband right under her on her weak leg so that when she decides to run that leg, she can create all that volume and she doesn't have to have a Shakeology under him.
And how do you know what's the weak leg? Like the weak and strong leg? How do you know that?
You should see in your volume.
Okay, you got to go back to the back office. And you have to do, I think there's a training. All right, go to your genealogy. Okay, and you're going to see that one side of your organization has more coaches than the other.
Where you're placed on that side, right? So if you're placed on your coach's right leg, that'll be generally your...
And what if there's no coaches?
At all? Zero coaches?
Then
under you?
Then it's totally up to you to build your legs.
So you have to build it yourself. Yeah. Are you there, Melody?
Oh, okay.
Have you looked into it? Do you know for a fact that there's no coaches under you?
I have one, but I'm here.
You have one, but what?
Keep breaking.
Can you hear me?
You're cutting off.
I have one coach. I had 3, but I have one. That's mine.
Okay.
I have one coach so far.
All right, but is anyone else above you putting coaches under you?
No.
Okay. So you're probably on an inside leg, which is okay. Doesn't mean anything. You're just going to have to build your both legs, your right and your left.
Okay. So it doesn't matter which side.
And
obviously I have to put one.
We could talk more about inside legs and outside legs and how to do it. So yeah, we'll definitely go over that in another call. All right. I think we're almost done.
Okay. All right. Thank you, guys.
Connecting everybody, and have a great night. See you next week.
Have a good night. Thank you.
Bye-bye.